Let's see some main previous year questions for the preliminary. So it's related to preliminary, the mains previous year questions. The first question which we are going to discuss the adjective attached to the word republic. Republic, the term is mentioned in the preamble. That republic we are going to deal with. This is the first part of the question demands. And the second part of the question is that the defendable in present circumstances. So we are dealing with the republic is added in the original preamble, and current circumstances we have to discuss whether it is the defendable or not in the present scenario. Let's see, as we know that we are going to deal with the intro and the body and the conclusion at the end. So first we see that introduction, how we can write the introduction. So this is the fact based, the India is following the democratic republic. So that is why we are writing the just directly whatever is mentioned in the preamble. So that is we are going to write. Preamble is the Indian constitution stated that we the people of India. This is the first section of the preamble that they are mentioned in the preamble document. The solemnly relieve that the constitution of India into the sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. These are all the objectives of the preamble. So sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. We are going to deal with this. So that is the demand of the question. Let's see what are the these objectives one by one. This is the demand of the question. First is sovereign. Sovereign, which means the India is the independent country, power to legislate on any subject. Can take any decision on its own on the internal and external affairs. External affairs is like the India is the membership with the organizations like IMF, World Bank, UN, UNESCO, and then WHO. These are all the some external affairs that India can take any decision. India want to be membership with these organizations, India can do. India want to exit from the membership from these organizations, India can exit. And the internal affairs is like a police, home affairs, any disputes between the states and the security, any UTs. These are all the some of example for the internal affairs. So this is the which related to sovereign. Sovereign is the term is only you have to remember that sovereign means the Indian country as independent country, which means India has the full powers to take any decisions on both internal and external affairs. And the second we are going to deal with the socialist. The socialist, which means the term is added by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. There are two kinds of the socialist existing in the world. One is the democratic socialism, and second one is the communal socialism. India is more following the democratic socialism. So India is, we can say that the socialism type is the mixture of the both Marxism and Gandhianism, which means that Indian socialism is mixture of these both philosophies. These both is but when it come to the Indian socialist, it is more inclined towards to the Gandhian socialism, that describing about that the Indian society. Gandhiji stated that with no one rich or poor, no class conflict, where there is an equal distribution of the resources and self-sufficient economy, and any without exploitation and violence. So this is stated by the Gandhiji. We have to mention that to get the more marks, more valid marks for this question. And India is following the democratic socialism, as we know that, which means that the socialist democracy means the mixture of the economy, which means that both the private and public parties can exist side by side. Private parties and public parties both can exist in the Indian democracy, that is the democratic socialism type. And the second type is the communal socialism, which means that it is also known as the social state socialism, which means that communal socialism is like a nationalization of the all means of productions and distribution and abolition of the private parties, which means there is no private party existing in this communal socialism. For example, China is following this type of socialism. Indian type of socialism is a mixture of economy, which means that income should not be concentrated in the few hands, because it should be equally distributed to all the people. So that is why we are following the Indian democratic socialism. And the next objective is the secular. Secular is also added by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. Secular means the brotherhood. So it is giving the feeling of the brotherhood. So that's why the Indian Constitution is giving the guaranteed the freedom of religion in the fundamental rights from the article 25 to 28. 25 to 28, these are all the given for the secularism. The meaning of secularism and guarantee for the secularism. Guarantee of the all the religions in the country with the same status and support by the state. State should be give the equal support and equal status to the any religion in the country. The state should not be recognized any religion as a state religion. State should not recognize any religion as their state religion, and it should treat all the religions as equally and equal respect. This is the important for this. The article 25 clearly says that the freedom of conscience and freedom of profess, practice and the propagate the religion to the all the citizens. It is giving the freedom to all the people to choose their religion and practice their religion and propagate their religion. And the fourth objective is the democracy. Democracy is the which means that it is based on the popular sovereignty, which means that supreme power lies with the people. Supreme power lies with the people. There are two types of democracies existing in the world. One is the direct democracy, second one is the indirect democracy. Let's see few more about the direct democracy. Direct democracy is the people can exercise their vote directly, which means that there are four such type of the powers to have with the people. So that is the referendum, initiation, recall and plebiscite. And Switzerland is following this type of direct democracy. These four powers lies with the people. They can directly exercise their power. And then second, the indirect democracy. India is following this indirect democracy. It is also known as the representative democracy. Remember this, representative democracy and the indirect democracy both are the same. So people don't have direct power or direct control, such as the on the referendum, initiative, plebiscite, recall, which is there the existing in the direct democracy. And the indirect democracy means that people will exercise their vote directly or indirectly through the elected representatives in the parliament at the central level. In the state level also, the people can directly indirectly electing their representatives. B.R. Ambedkar says that the political democracy cannot last unless there lies at the base of its social democracy. This point giving the valid to your answer writing, please do mention about that. Here is the Ambedkar, here is the stated by the Gandhiji, and some Supreme Court statements also. Supreme Court is observed that 1997 Constitution envisages to establish the egalitarian society, which means that the Indian Constitution is providing the equal priority to social, economical, political justice. It has to provide the equal priority to all. And 73rd, 74th Constitutional Amendment clearly giving the strength of the democracy, which means the decentralization of the democracy. And the conclusion. This is the body part. Now it's when it comes to the conclusion, there is the present circumstances that we are going to discuss, that the political analysts have the praised the Indian preamble and its clearly and conscience, clarity and conscience. So Supreme Court emphasized its significance of the Beruberi case, Kesananda case and LIC case. These three cases is related to the preamble. We have to remember that the word republic is reflect the democratic republic. It means the sense of the brotherhood, that spirit of the Indian Constitution. It giving sense of the brotherhood in the sense that it is giving the single citizenship to all the people, it making all Indians at once, even if they are coming from the different states. And let's see second question. What can France learn from the Indian Constitution approach to the secularism? France learn from the Indian Constitution. This is important. Secularism. Just we discussed about that the secularism is giving for the Constitution guaranteed by the fundamental rights and DPSP, and then democratic republic. This is also giving the oneness of the country by giving the vote. Introduction, how to write. French model secularism. We have to remember that this secularism, the word secularism, republic also taken from the French Revolution. We have to remember that while writing in the body part. So French model secularism follows the state separate from the religion, and no religious symbols allows in the private places, which means that the French consider as a religion as private party. In India, as we know that the Article 25 clearly says that freedom of confess, freedom of profess and practice and propagate. These are all the freedom providing for the Indian constitution for the all the religions irrespective of their population. So it means that the religion is the public, can practice in the public or public matter. But when it comes to the French model secularism, they are not allowing any religion or religious symbols allowed in the public places. That means this is the private matter in the French. So that is the major difference from India and France. And body part, we can see that the Constitution of India under the Article 25, as we discussed about that, all the persons are equally entitled to the freedom of profess and the right to freely profess, practice and the propagate religious subject to the public order, morality and health. This is important. They are subject to the public order, morality and health. So these are all the important for the Indian perspective when it comes to the practice of the religious and religious symbols. It is clearly says that the India allows the religious practices etc. should healthy in nature. It should be healthy in nature if it is there the allowing the practices. Worship of your God is good, but your religions is also nice, but you should be respect other religions practices and belief. So this is the motto. And Indian Constitution provides that all the citizens and non-citizens right to religious practice as the fundamental right with reasonable restrictions. This is also important. I just try to write this much. So if you have more in your mind, you can write the more than this. Let's come to the conclusion. Let's see that France and India both are all the republic countries. Both are all following the different republic countries. Republic provisions, principles. Let's see, France can learn from the Indian Constitution approach, secularism, by adopting the more inclusive approach, the value of the all respect of the all religion. India is giving the more value, more respect to the all the religions, irrespective of their population, based on their religion. But it is promoting the harmony and brotherhood, oneness, and protect the rights of the minorities also in India. This is France has to learn from the India. India is providing equal priority to the all the religions, equal status and equal respect to the all the religions. Apart from the difference from the constitutional approach towards the secularism, but both India and France have been successful republics. So these both are the following the republic. So this is the second question is given by the previous year, and let's see. Okay, thank you. There is no questions. Thank you.